All right, y'all. Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is a beautiful night. It's a beautiful Sunday night. You know why? Because there's a score. It's called 37-8. We whooped on them Packers. Oh, did we beat on them Packers? They had no hope. You know, the only person that helped them out was a guy named Davante Adams. I am Dion, your 49er reporter. I am so sorry to get started before I went through the particulars. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to keep yourself up to date on any and everything 49ers. With that being said, let me get right into it. Give it to you straight, no chaser. The beauty of this game is everybody counted us out. All of the commentators, everybody. Oh, Green Bay's gonna beat him. Oh, look at what Mr. Rogers can do. It was not a beautiful day in the fucking neighborhood for Mr. Rogers. I'll tell you that much. So this is just beautiful. I mean, my first, it was so lovely just to watch it. Now, here's the only negative thing I have to say about this. Offense just got to pick it up a little bit. That's it. Pretty much. Offense has to pick it up. Because to tell you right now, defense did their damn job. Through and through. This is just the total. See, I told y'all when you stop Aaron Rodgers and you stop Aaron Jones, this is what happened. So let me tell y'all exactly what happened. I'm going to tell y'all just the stats. Aaron Rodgers, 20 of 33 for 104 yards and one touchdown. His touchdown was to Davante Adams, and he completed a two-point conversion to Davante Adams. That's how you get the score of 8. Aaron Jones, 13 carries for 38 yards, average 2.9 yards per carry. You know what that says to me? He was ineffective. Why? Because we didn't let him go anywhere. And we didn't let him run the ball. And he did nothing. You stop Aaron Rodgers, you stop Aaron Jones and Aaron Rodgers. Both of those Aarons got their ass handed to them. Simply played. This is beautiful. I mean, we didn't really have to do much. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I can tell you is I didn't like the ineptitude of the offense in the first half. And the reason I state that is because we had too many drives where we're winding up either kicking a field goal or something like that. You know, we have to continually score because we can't do this with other teams, because if we try to pull this shit off against the Saints, I'll tell you this right now. If we try to pull this off against the Saints, this is going to backfire in the fucking face. You know why? Because Drew Brees will find a way to score. Now, we stopped Aaron Rodgers. We shut him down. That number one pass defense that we have definitely lived up to its name. Only 104 yards in the TD for Aaron Rodgers. The bad man, as Stephen A. Smith calls him. I mean, shit, we shut that down. There was no bad man today. He was Mr. Rogers, and it was a really fucked up day for his neighborhood. Yes, it was, people. Very, very messed up day in his neighborhood. It was unfortunate. You know, Mr. Rogers would love to come out, and he loved a little train to come around and have Davante Adams and Mr. Graham and Aaron Jones and all those guys on it scoring touchdowns, being happy. But you know what happened? We derailed the fucking train. We kicked in his door, and we sacked his ass as much as we felt like it. We didn't give a damn. We just took his neighborhood and just destroyed it. So for Mr. Rogers, there was 5 times when we kicked his damn door in and sacked his ass. And that was beautiful. And I just love it, man. Our defense is just ridiculously stellar, man. Fred Warner led it away again. 11 fucking tackles. I mean, Trey Greenlaw, 8 tackles. Eric Armstead had 2 sacks. DeForest Buckner and Tart share a sack. Nick Bosa comes in with the sack. Like, we were just doing what we were doing. We stopped the run. They couldn't throw the ball. It made no difference. So I'll just tell y'all exactly what happened. And this is just the second half, all right? So this is the beauty of this, because I gave y'all the first half stats in my halftime video. And, I mean, I went so hard in that video, it took so long to load up. Y'all probably still watching that as we speak. But the second half. So the first offensive drive, you know what I'm saying, we had another sack on Jimmy Garoppolo, man. They had 3 sacks themselves. You know, the Smith brothers was back there in our backfield doing what they was doing. But so the first drive, you know what I'm saying, Smith sacks Jimmy, we had a 3 and out. And that was the first drive of the second half. So the first drive on defense, we had a sack on A-Rod. And then they called that back. So then they converted a 4th down for themselves. It was the first conversion for them all year long. So Sherman wound up hobbling off the field a little bit, but he came right back in. But then he had 2 penalties that gave them a 1st and goal, you know what I'm saying? And then what happened? They run a reverse, Davante Adams touchdown. They run a little, quick little route for a 2-point conversion, Davante Adams 2-point conversion. So all of the 8 points came off his back, and it was only on that drive. Other than that, the second drive, the first down, Jimmy to KB. So KB makes it happen. Boom. We in there like swimwear. And next thing you know, it was the man of the hour. We had been waiting for him to come back, and he showed up and showed the fuck out. Mr. George Kittle, baby. Kittle came right in across that field, 61 motherfucking yards for the score. It was a beautiful touchdown. And then next thing you know, second drive for the defense. So Aaron Jones had a first down. Armstead had a penalty. That gave Green Bay, another first down. And then DJ Jones had another 5-yard penalty, so I gave him 1st and 5. Then, first down, Adams on a little screen pass. Then they wound up on 4th and 10. Now, we would have held them, but K1 had a PI, so that gives them another first down. So then next thing you know, right after that, defense holds up. We get them back to 4th down again, and they went for it, and we sacked his ass. Got him. We had a sack on Rodgers. That was the one that Tartan Defoe shared. So the next drive, this is the third one of the offense. The first down to KB. Then it was the first down to Raheem Mostert. Then it was the first down to TC. And we had that, and all of those first downs came on third down conversions. Now, all night long, we couldn't convert a third down to save our damn life. It seemed like fourth quarter come around, we just decided to know what the hell we doing. So after that third conversion on third down, what happens? Touchdown, Raheem Mostert, man. Mostert he ran right through him, man. It was too damn easy. So then next up, we go to the third drive for the defense. But the thing is, we milked the clock on that. So the second half was what we were doing was we were just trying to milk the clock, make sure we scored enough to keep ourselves ahead. And then as soon as we knew we had them, we just started milking the clock. We ran the ball. You know what I'm saying? Let's just run the clock down as much as we possibly can. So third drive on defense, A-Rod was out. They took him out. They just said, look, fuck it, man. This game is over. We done lost this shit. So they, we in the fourth quarter by now. So they put in their backup. You know what I'm saying? They had 2 first downs that we gave up. Then in fourth down, and Pack went for it. But there was a pass interference on Emmanuel Mosley. So that gave him a first down. And then next thing you know, basically we went ahead and we stopped them. They ran the ball, time ran out. They didn't even try to score. Like, it was just like, fuck it, we'll just give some backup some time. We even put it in our backup defense, right after they took out A-Rod, because it was like, fuck it, for what? Like, why are we going to waste time and possibly injure someone when we don't need to? And this is the second time this year that we've been able to do that. Like, be able to put it in our backups, and we don't have to put in our starters for any particular reason because we have the game won. It's so far in hand. So 37-8 was the final score in this game. And I can tell you, like I said, the only drawback that I take from this game is the fact that we would need to make sure that we stay, doing very well on offense. So you got to think about it. The first offensive drive for the second half, that's, a 3 and out. The second offensive drive is a touchdown. You know what I mean? Third offensive drive, touchdown. And those are all in the second half. So in the second half, our offense was doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? But the first half, we didn't look as fantastic. I'm sure you'll look at the score and you'll be like, oh, they look great. But it doesn't necessarily work out that way. If I go back to the notes I have for the first half, you'd be very surprised at that. And actually, that's what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying, just to educate a couple people, because some people are just regular fans and they're not like as hardcore of a fan as I am or some of us are, as far as, 49er fans go. So I'll just let y'all know exactly what happened, because we had a heck of a time when it came down to it, when we looked at, the drives that we had and all of the, opportunities we had that were missed. It was a little unfortunate, man, because we should have had a heck of a lot more points than what we did have. So the first drive on offense, that winds up, as a 3 and out. And we had a really bad fumble, So then you keep looking at everything, and the next drive on offense what happened. You know, like the first drive we actually had on offense, I apologize. It was so short and quick because we sacked A-Rod and we had the ball on the 2. TC runs in for a touchdown, easy. So that first drive, yes, it's technically a touchdown. But the next actual drive where we had to really drive down the field, that was a 3 and out. The next drive, you know, what do? We get down, we get close, we get into the red zone, and we have to kick a field goal. So that's only 3 points. So, you know, we just continue to keep going. So the next drive on offense, we wound up, and in the first quarter, we wound up going 3 and out. Fourth drive on offense, you know, we wind up with another 3 and out, and the offense was just being a little bit inept. And then the fifth drive on offense, you know, we just wound up with another field goal. So you see what I'm saying? We have all these opportunities. So we have 7 drives on offense, you know, and we wind up with 23 points. But we only scored, you know, an actual touchdown on 2 of those drives. So 2 out of 7, that's a really bad percentage on scoring. So we need to do a lot better when it comes down to that. But either way, man, at the end of the fucking day, I'm happy. You know why? Because this video gives me a chance to be able to gloat to my dad's wife and gloat to a couple of other Packer fans. Rest in peace to my cousin Mark. I know he's a Packer fan, and I know he's looking down. I told him we was going to get it, but we got that ass. It was a beautiful game, though, man. Like, when you look at it from a standpoint, our defense did their fucking job. They came in, they played hard, they did what they were supposed to do. The offense came in and did their job. You got to look at it like this. From a passing standpoint, there's nothing spectacular about what Jimmy did. 253, 2 touchdowns, but the beauty is he didn't throw a pick. And none of the passes that I watched this whole game, guys, none of the passes he threw could have been picked off. He had nothing that said, you know, he was making a mistake or he was doing something wrong. And these are some fairly, you know, decent DBs back there that were doing their thing. And of course, they did fairly well as far as the rush. But hey, Raheem had a TD, Tevin Coleman had a TD. The running game wasn't back as I thought it would be. But hey, man, touchdown is a touchdown. I don't care how you get it. And then, of course, George Kittle, he's back. 6 for 129 and a touchdown. He caught all 6 of the balls thrown his way. Deebo Samuel, two catches, 2 targets, 50 yards, and a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? KB, 2 for 2, 27 yards. Raheem Mostert, 1 catch on 3 targets, 22 yards. So you got to think about it. We didn't have any drops. Nobody was dropping the ball. The couple of passes where it was for Raheem that he missed, and you know, those were little small passes. It wasn't really nothing big or crazy where he was like gonna make like a really ridiculous play or anything like that. And even a couple of the passes that TC. But the thing is there weren't drops like, you know, last game where we're looking like, man, we got to get these guys to catch the damn ball. But it was very simple. Technically speaking, for receivers, he only actually hit 4 different dudes all night long. So I think what Shanahan is realizing is, look, man, I got a couple of dudes on here that's solid that I know are going to catch the ball, and I'm just going to stick to them cats, man, if I can. You know, I'm going to call plays for George. I'm going to call plays for Deebo. I'm going to call plays for KB. I'm going to call plays for Emmanuel Sanders, and that's what I'm going to do. And we'll make sure that those guys get the ball because when they get the ball in their hands, they make plays for us. KB did fantastic tonight. He didn't drop the ball. He didn't look crazy. He wasn't out there giggling or nothing after he didn't drop the damn ball, which I hate when he does. And then George Kittle, what was he doing? He went out there and just showed us who he was again. And that's why people you have to realize how great this offense is when it's running and firing on all cylinders. So one thing, if you notice it, you didn't see Dante. Dante just didn't exist. He was suited up, but he wasn't doing nothing. Keith, a healthy scratch. So he's really, really taking into account Jalen Hurts is not coming back this season, people. Just keep that in mind. He's not. He's hurt. He's injured. He's out for the rest of the season. Trent Taylor, don't look good for him either. So as far as the receivers that we have, we're going to have to really go into the playoffs with the dudes that we got, and that's it. So I'm telling you right now, Emmanuel Sanders, Kendrick Bourne, Deebo Samuels, George Kittle, and Richie James Jr., are going to be our receivers going into the playoffs. Dante Pettis may be there here and there, but he ain't gonna be there too much. If you look at that, he literally target technically only 4 guys who are actually receivers. Yes, Kittle's a tight end, but that's a receiving position. So if you look at that from a standpoint, that's a coach literally stating to himself, okay, you know what? Yeah, period, point blank, y'all ain't catching the damn ball, you ain't gonna be on the fucking field. It's not my goddamn problem. Y'all want to get on the field? Catch the fucking ball. Do your job. Look at what happened with Justin School. I like Justin School, and I think he does a fantastic job. He was getting ate up all night long. Second half come, School was sitting his ass on the bench, brought School was in. Shanahan will put together whatever combination of players that he needs to make his offense run and to make his offense go. And you guys got to pay very close attention to that, man. They lost Brian Bulaga on their offensive line. The Packers did, and that's their right tackle, man. So right when they lost Bulaga, that gave us more of an opening to do some of the things that we want to do on defense. So you got to look at it from a standpoint of watching the game and understanding the subtle nuances of the changes that can be made. If you look at that game all night, you didn't really see out of there. I don't even think I seen Dante. I saw him on the sideline sitting there talking to someone. He suited up. He might have even ran a few plays, but he was not about to get the ball. Shanahan just doesn't trust him no more. And you are going to have to prove yourself in practice and prove yourself on the field before you regain the trust of the offensive play callers. Because Wes Welker ain't finna go ahead and say, hey, Debo, man, take a seat. Let me get this pass out here for Pettis. The fuck? No. It's not about to happen. He gonna look and say, Debo, stay your ass in there. Dante, go sit your ass down. Unless Debo get hurt, which we don't want. I'm not wishing that on him. Unless Debo get hurt or Richie get hurt or somebody else does, it's the only way you're gonna get your ass in this game. And I think that Richie should see a little bit more time in the pass game. I think he's a dynamic player. He's a quick twitch guy, and he's very fast. You hit him on the right route, he gone. You seen Debo, see what he did? He took the fuck off. He outran that damn DB. That's why he scored that touchdown. He outran him. And then made sure he balanced himself out purposely so that he could, get into the end zone at the end of the run. And that's exactly what George Kittle did. George Kittle ran away from everybody. Put the ball past that, as soon as the ball break the plane, that's a touchdown, baby. So we did what we had to do. We won this game, and we won it handily. Like, we manhandled them. We came out and we beat the shit out of the Pack. So you know what's going to happen tomorrow? Was that bad Packers, or was that just great 49ers? That's what everybody going to be talking about, and it's going to piss me off again. But I'm not going to let it bother me, because you know what? I'm going to tell you this is what it was. It was great 49ers, which is what it is every fucking game when we play. That's what people don't realize. We are that good. We're the best in the NFL, period. We're tops in the NFC by far. There's nobody else fucking with us. Nobody can touch us. And I'm just telling you right now, man, we have a stellar defense. And look at this. It's very simple. Everybody says, oh, well, we can't count on Jimmy Garoppolo. He threw 2 TDs tonight, and without them 2 TDs, that makes it a little bit of a closer game. Yeah, we still win, but at the end of the day, he didn't throw a pick. He didn't look stupid, and he played against, like I said, some very decent defensive backs. These guys weren't nothing to laugh at. Jair Alexander, people have been talking about their defensive backfield and the guys that they have. So don't anybody out there trying to make any noise or trying to, act like we played inferior competition. No, we didn't. They 8-2. I'm sorry, 8-3 now, but they were 8-2. So explain to me how if they're 8-2 and this is supposed to be the hardest 3-game stretch of any team in the Super Bowl era, why we don't get no credit for beating them? I'm sorry. We beat them. We whooped their ass. We handed them a ass whooping by 31 fucking, no, I'm sorry, not 31 points, 29 points. That's 4 touchdowns. You tell me different. 4 fucking touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers needed 4 more scores for him to be able to do anything. We didn't give him the time of day to breathe in that pocket. He had to move. He had to do things. The only time they started actually moving the ball was toward the end of the game. Why? Because we had backups in there and we was just this garbage time. Like, what are we going to do? At the end of the day, the only thing we was really trying to tell them was not to get any penalties. They still had a few, but it wasn't enough that was detrimental to the point of the game. If it was, A-Rod would have been in there. They sat him down because they conceded to losing. And they knew that there was no way for them to come back. They didn't have enough time. Now, Aaron Rodgers of old would have looked at Mike McCarthy and been like, fuck you, I'm staying in the game, man. We finna try to win this thing. I know it's 37-8, but I can pull this off. I can do this. Matt LaFleur was like, bro, we lost. All right? Look, my brother didn't beat us. You know, Shanahan didn't beat us. Look, bro, we just going to take this L and move on. Got to take that one on the chin. When we lost to the Seahawks and McLaughlin hooked the shit out of that damn field goal, we got to take that L and move on. We'll see them at the end of the season. But I can tell y'all this, man. At the end of the day, we are the best team in the NFL. There is no one better than us. And if someone else thinks that they are better than us, they have to come through. And you know what they got to do? They got to win a game. I don't really see anything that they can do. I'm looking right now at the schedule, man. Like, the next couple of games we got, yeah, it's going to be hard. We got the Ravens, and we got to play the Saints. So, yeah, those are going to be some hard-fought games, and we got to figure out a way to stop Lamar Jackson. But I'm sure Robert Saleh and Chris Kasurek and all the defensive guys are up to figuring out, DeMeco Ryans and all those dudes, they're up to figuring out how to stop a running quarterback. And we'll see what we can do against him and be able to figure out, you know, what to do to stop him. And I'll be back with a video for that. But I just want y'all to stay Niner faithful, stay Niner blessed, enjoy this ass whooping we to put on them damn Green Bay Packers, and laugh. Laugh a joyful, hearty laugh for all of the pundits that will be like, hey man, you know, it's just the 49ers still ain't played nobody. They've not done anything. You know, they got lucky against Green Bay. It was bad Aaron Rodgers. It wasn't great, you know, George Kittle or Jimmy Garoppolo or that offense. It was their defense. They did everything. The defense didn't score no points tonight. Just so people know. Defense didn't score not a point. They did their job, which is what they were supposed to do and what they do every fucking game. But they didn't score any points. So if we don't score those 37 points, McLaughlin doesn't kick those field goals, I'm sorry. We don't win the game. Y'all stay Niner faithful, stay Niner blessed. And at the end of the day, baby, we're 10-1. We are the best team in the NFL, the best team in the NFC. And you can't see us.